The Spin-off Podcast Network.
This is Kiwi is back for a brand new season with more inspiring kōrero from special guests including rugby player, father and role model TJ Perenara.
My family bring me joy. Rugby brings me joy too, but it's not the same joy as my family brings me.
And global dancer and choreographer Kirsten Dodgen.
For some reason, people think I'm very intimidating.
Listen to the new season of This is Kiwi, brought to you by the Spin-off Podcast Network in collaboration with KiwiBank. Available now wherever you get your podcasts.
Kia ora, this is Toby Manhire, here to urge you to tune in to Gone by Lunchtime, a podcast with me, Annabelle Lee Mather and Ben Thomas, tackling the world of New Zealand politics, from policy to polling, from scandal to psychodrama. Listen to Gone by Lunchtime, brought to you by the Spin-off Podcast Network, wherever good pods are sold.
Crack open your tropical Red Bull, Alex Casey. The time is nigh.
Let's go.
Kia ora, welcome to The Real Pod. Hi.
Hi.
Hi, I'm Jane. I'm joined by Duncan Grieve, Alex Casey. It's your reality TV and real life in New Zealand and beyond podcast. I've got some world news today.
World
Some who?
news?
Some world news.
news.
Yeah.
Do we have a sting for that?
World news. Our Facebook page is facebook.com/groups/Real Pod Corner. It's not a page.
Is that
it's
world news?
No,
You
I'm
did the
doing
sting.
No, that
It's just a
oh,
tease.
no,
It's just
there was a
practice for the
teasing.
sting.
Oh,
Yeah. No,
I have
no.
an Apple Watch. Is it new?
Yes. No,
Shit,
it's not. I got
world
that on
news.
Mother's Day like 2 years ago. I'll tell you what though. Do you know about the Apple Rings? About the rings on the Apple Watch? They track your you have activity
And
goals,
you're like, stand up,
exercise goals,
Jane.
and I have friends that I'm connected to, and all throughout the day I get notifications that like Nadia, who's a corny, has closed her activity ring, and she's done that by like midday, which is 10 o'clock Australian time where she is. Sarah's closed her. She's corny too. And then and I get to the end of the day and I'm like, congratulations, you achieved your stand-up goal, which is standing up like once every hour for 12 hours.
that's good.
There are times when I've
proud
not
of
achieved
you.
that goal. But I wonder if my friends get the notification about that. Like 11:30 at night as I'm walking to bed, Jane's achieved her stand-up goal.
Or do they get like a medic alert alarm to say Jane has not stood up today?
Jane might
Call
have
the
died.
ambulance.
Anyway, that's by the by. Gossip Week.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
What's hot?
Check it out. Oh my God, there's so much hot goss on the spin-off. You should look at, very proud of the A to Z
The
Yeah.
glossary.
of the glossary.
Oh, the
of gossip.
glossary.
The glossary.
I didn't even notice that.
The glossary of gossip in New Zealand. It's great little mementos from times gone by.
Nugs.
Nugs.
There's also a great piece on Ellie Moore that
Yes.
Alice Webb-Liddell wrote.
Great interview about her reflecting on a horrible time in the late 2000s when after she separated from Simon Dello and the bloody gossip mags outed her and were like stalking her and her family for weeks. Very harrowing. There's more fun stuff to come though. Felicity Ferret, if you remember, the Metro furry columnist. We've got the best of her early noughties teasers, including, ooh, should I spoil it? Well, it'll be on the site, and rush to it. Run, don't walk. We've got a Matrix star buying a certain kind of biscuit.
Whoa!
That's all I'll say.
Also, there's a Remember When that's just come out on Celebrity Rumours. And there's going to be another one later on this week on Bieber Mania / Bieber Fever. Okay, let's get into the real news. Okay, do you want to start with the world news or the local?
Ooh, take us big and then bring us home.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's what I think.
Okay, let's go to wherever Eric Clapton and his daughter Ruth live. They have reconciled after a 6-year feud, which started when he wore a Kermit the Frog outfit to his 70th birthday bash.
I love everything about this story.
Holy shit. So why the rage at the Kerm?
Okay, so, I mean, it's a little bit of a green herring.
Is it like a Pepe the Frog situation?
No, she shared a bunch of photos on Twitter from the bash, and he got pissed off with her at sharing his personal.
Could you see
Life.
his personal face, or is it like a frog head?
I'm not sure. I never looked at the photos, which is clearly bad journalism on my behalf. But I just love how they sold the story that it was about the outfit that caused the rift.
A 6-year rift is a That's a big riff.
Yeah, they're back together now though, so it's all fine.
So is there any New Zealand connection to this?
No,
So this is
Kermit
amazing. This
Buzz.
is real.
that's
classic
not
real
entirely
pod.
true. It's not entirely true. It was in the New Zealand Herald. Okay, that's where I
Yes.
found the story, which is also where I found this story. The title is "Going Downhill Fast: Slip and Slide Show halted over explosive diarrhea."
I love this story. I love this.
Okay, and the best bit about it is the picture that accompanies the article, which is just a stock image of someone going down a slip and slide, and clearly it.
Hold up. Is this not a New Zealand story either?
No.
Come on, Harold.
That photo is disgusting.
No, but
Is that time around?
that's mud. That's just mud. So it's a guy going down a white slip and slide, and he's got all this mud trailing behind him because it's obviously wet and muddy. But they're kind of making it look like he's having diarrhea live on the slide.
That guy should sue. That's really sad to that guy.
That's crazy. It's not
He's
good.
just having a nice time.
I feel like given New Zealand's history of, not slip and slide, not like just poos and pools, let's be honest,
Yeah.
then like a regular reader is just going to assume that that's a New Zealand-based story.
Yeah.
I honestly think, I'm just, this is becoming the fold again.
Oh my God.
Oh my
I just don't
God.
think it's in the Herald's interest to be publishing a story at that level from anywhere in the world.
Okay, I think we need to have an intervention. You've got your own
No more
podcast.
fold.
Okay,
Let's fold
no
the
more.
fold.
Stop. Let's
Real
fold
pod
no more.
campaign.
Fold the fold. That's not going to make it better.
It's gonna make it two
If I've got
folds.
no outlet.
I think also it's interesting that this is like the next step of reality TV.
Yes.
Like just people scrambling up a
slip and
slippery
slide.
slope.
So this is a US reality TV show centered on a giant slip and slide, and they were forced to halt production because they all the crew and cast got giardia.
Giardia.
Yeah. So there's nothing to say that anything explosive happened whilst on a slide, but I still love that they led me to believe that that was the case. Here's another one. This is local. You ready for this? I went deep into the regional news to find this one. The title was Driftwood. Pup grabs bizarre beach bounty. And you're like, oh, the pup's got some driftwood. What's that? The wood it refers to is a sex toy. They've been clever.
Oh.
But wait, you want to wait
Like
for
a
the
wooden sex toy or
No,
got wood
like, it's got
kind
wood.
of.
But are
Right.
you ready for the uncensored version of the pic?
Yeah.
Oh, I need to look at that much more closely.
It's a lovely brown dog wandering around. The dog's called Barney.
The best thing is the dog is holding what kind of described as a very lifelike, veiny old knob, and it's got it clenched by the ball.
Yeah, yeah,
May
it
I
does.
see? May
It's
I
sort of
see?
a rubbery dildo-y type situation. I'm not well
there's a
versed
lot
in
of,
sex toys.
There's a lot of this going on, isn't there?
Is there?
COVID? I feel like every day there's a new story about like sex toy washed up or dog finds sex toy or sex toy on the loose.
But maybe that's just the nature of us becoming a more open-minded society, and there just
and
being
sort
more
of
sex
mass
toys
production
in the market.
online.
Well, or also that the media is less prim and proper. But before that, it was just every dog running around like that. But they were just like, we couldn't possibly. It would offend yonder public.
Anyway, this was at local Mount Maunganui Beach. So if you are missing your rubber dildo, veiny, as Duncan mentioned, peachy pink in colour, and you're from the area, get in touch with Barney's owner.
No, you want that back.
I think that's the end of the real news.
Are we going to talk about Lord's song, or is that just too?
No, we should talk
Okay,
about
what
it.
do you want? What about it?
I don't know.
It's
Into
out.
it.
Yeah, Smart Lord's got a new song. Go listen to it. You're into
What do
it.
you think? What do you think? I think you might be the biggest Lord stan I know.
Well, I became very wrapped up in Stan Twitter, and I was interested in the story of like I feel like Lord Twitter was putting on a lot of pressure and maybe had a big hand in leaking the cover, and then also this. Well, they uploaded the song. Someone uploaded the song to iTunes accidentally, right?
Well, yeah, I mean, except that I think that the snippets went up early, but I think that was the planned release day, is my understanding.
I found this on Twitter, which I thought was good. According to TMZ magazine, Lord's hard drive was hacked and files from her upcoming album were stolen. The hacker's location has been traced and leads to Demi Lovato's residence in Beverly Hills.
What? How can that be real?
Oh, it's probably
Demi.
not, but I love it. I love it as a theory.
I also have become quite obsessed with the detail that
The podcast.
it's another reg. That she started writing the song Larry David's Holiday Home, being good friends with Cassie David. I don't know. I assume that Larry wasn't there, but I just like that cultural clash.
What do you think Larry David would think of the song?
Pretty. Such a hack. I'm so sorry.
I love it.
You had to, though.
I had to.
My personal review, love the song, love the video. Mm-hmm. Looking forward to the rest of the album.
We had the did you get invited to be in the video? I didn't.
What? No,
Just with the rest of Auckland.
yeah, but I moved house.
Right,
So-
I got lost in the mail.
Yes. That's the problem.
Just not enough podcasters in the video.
No.
Altogether.
Yeah.
Renowned as some of the most lithe and handsome New Zealanders, and yet hugely overlooked demo.
Okay, let's go to Colin's Cranny.
Colin's Cranny. Colin's Cranny. Colin's Cranny. Cranny. Colin's Cranny.
This is just a PSA really to let you know that Colin is joining us for some lovely eats, some bakery eats and some bubbles on Friday for a special pop-up version of The Real Pod to celebrate Gossip Week.
It was a fabulous afternoon.
I'm just haunted by the fact that that happened, and where Alex is now was Colin. No disrespect, but
Yeah,
that was better.
that's fine.
And all of the bakery and the champagne, it was delicious.
Those donuts. He's on to something with his passion for those jam donuts. Good
Yeah.
grief. Can we leak the tapes
Which
of
ones?
the biggest news from the pod that we are going to Colin's birthday ball? His 50th
I'm
birthday ball.
imagining Met Gala style.
We need to think about our
We're
outfits.
really- I
We
know.
need to start.
He's given us a
now.
decent run-up. It's
Yeah.
going to be sometime in May or something, right?
Can't botch it. Can't botch it, guys.
Yeah, I'm very excited. I've thought about it a lot since he told me that news.
Yeah. So anyway, listen to that podcast and all this will make much more sense.
I have 4 weeks to decide I'm going to drop my entire life in.
I am disgusted at how much you have copied my husband.
This is fine. I don't even know.
Masked Singer? Should we wade through that first?
Hell
Yeah.
yeah. Where's your enthusiasm?
Oh, look, I knew who everyone was.
Still good to see them.
Still good to see
Jason
them.
Kearson's hair was a surprise.
Hey, I loved it.
I loved it too.
I actually think if he had that around the Op Shop era, it would have been a whole different career trajectory for him. I really think. I mean, I think Op Shop did quite well in its time, but I think it would have carried on and he could be a global superstar with that hairdo.
It's interesting because he was bald in
Well,
Op Shop era, right?
Well, I think it was just a shaved head.
I know, but it's interesting I thought people went bald just because they were going bald or were like a true bald. So you front foot the baldness.
By
But then he
shaving.
has this gorgeous
Oh, he has
head of
beautiful,
hair.
You think
beautiful
it might
curly
be
locks.
a sort of Michael Scott plugs
like a
situation?
yeah, a toupee.
I
That would be crazy if he took the mask off and the toupee came off as well.
Well, because they really struggled, didn't they? It was
But we'd never know, would we? It would just be a bald head and we'd be like, there's Jason Kearson as per. Unless we saw the
toupee fall out.
flop out.
Jason Kearson does not have a toupee. Let's just make that clear.
I wanted to learn more about Jason Kearson and what he's been up to, and I found an article on the Herald and I went to click on it. It was bloody paywalled, so I can't tell you.
I've
Can't
got a
tell you.
sub.
Well, I think I have access to a sub too, but I'm just making a point. Nothing on the spin-off paywalled.
I just am disappointed in him for in the early stages of lockdown. Jesus, this is tense, but maybe I shouldn't. So in the early stages of lockdown, or maybe even before lockdown, I basically wanted to interview him about how it feels to have been right, about having an arc, and now how we were all desperately trying to scramble an arc together. And he didn't respond to my repeated texts. But
he would have been underground.
He'd been in
that's
a bunker.
true. No reception
comms.
in the bunker.
Hang on,
but yeah,
it
he's a famous prepper, basically.
Does he have a bunker and an arc? Does he have both?
I think they're one and the same,
I think they're
right?
one and the same. I imagine an arc with an underground experience.
I'm imagining an arc sitting atop at a high point.
Oh,
It's like a dome.
yeah.
We've seen it, right? And it's got cans and cans and cans in the sagging ceiling. Because there's so much food.
choose to imagine an arc like Noah's Ark is portrayed in children's stories.
Well, I was thinking if you had the right, like if you had like a sort of a disc that could be sort of partially submerged, but also when the floods came, the air in it, and if it was hermetically sealed, it might pop up and then float, and it could do both. Wow. A baka.
Right. So Tuatara, look, I just need to come clean. I've only taken like notes for the first couple songs, and then I stopped and just watched and enjoyed like a regular person. And so this bit where I say who sang what, it's going to end pretty shortly. Okay, but Tuatara
That's my favourite bit.
sang Somebody to Love. Sharon wanted to hear more before deciding. That's when we realised we were going to get 2 songs.
Yeah. I think at the end you've got to have a guess. James Roque saying all of the All Blacks, not okay.
Not okay.
Not okay.
Not okay. Lady reckons she knows who it is but was waiting for the next song, which, idiot. Get in there and say it. It's your chance to, like, we've
as
all been
you've
wondering
learned.
who it is. Well, we haven't. We've known. But everyone else has been wondering who it is.
Oh,
say
anyone's
it. Claim your
wondering.
prize. And be done with it. Because then what happened was she basically got gazumped by Sharon in the next round.
I will say I think the only person in New Zealand who didn't know was my dad.
Your dad listens to the podcast, though, doesn't he? He's a
he's all
relatively
over the
active
shop.
member of the corner.
I don't know if he listens to the podcast. He doesn't have enough internet
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
for this. But
That
no, he
sounds
was
like
very
something
surprised.
someone says when you confront them about not listening to your podcast.
It's got like
I ran out.
industrial strength.
Lady Six managed to drop in Joel Shadbolt from LAB's name, even
Just
though
one
even
more
even
time.
even if to say it's not him.
But didn't she also do Lisa Tomlinson as well? She's got
Yeah.
a perfect record of mentioning LAB
Yeah, she
in
did.
every opportunity for the whole series.
The weird thing here was that someone guessed it was Lady who was like, it's definitely not Jeremy Redmore. But then they put up Jeremy
I
Redmore's
know.
picture as a guess.
And then 2 question marks.
I think everyone's just clocked out. They're just like, show's nearly over. Just put up a picture.
But it's like Joe Cotton said, like, you know, the thing that she enjoyed most about was just doing something really, really ridiculous. And the incredibly low stakes of it, I think you could feel that from everyone. Like, guessing doesn't matter. The audience votes, but who cares? Like, the whole thing is just like easily the lowest stakes entertainment there's ever been. It makes Dancing with the Stars look like the election or something. You know?
Okay, hard disagree. It was extremely high stakes for Jason Kirsten. He learned how to trill.
Did he?
Trill.
Yes.
What's trill?
Whoa.
Like Mariah Carey, just like that. He said he was trying to sing songs that he wouldn't ordinarily, like, learned all these different techniques and he, you know.
Hard out.
But is that high stakes or is that just a nice thing to
I think
be
it's-
paid to do?
I think it's high stakes because he's
upskilling.
got a new single coming. And so his appearance on this show is high stakes for the return of Jason Kirsten. If he did a bad job, if he was out round 1, if he pulled a bloody Susie Cato, that might be it.
He gave it everything. It was interesting to me that he chose to redo Cake by the Ocean, which still a bop, but easily his worst performance of the whole season, I thought.
I can't get. It's such a good song.
It's
that I
such a
don't-
good song, but he just totally butchered those like falsetto, like interlude bits, like just terrible.
Wow.
But he did
Simon
Queen as
Cowell.
well, didn't he?
Huh?
He did Queen as well. He did.
Yeah, no, like he crushed a bunch of really difficult songs, but
also,
then couldn't handle Cake by the Ocean.
the best
by
bit.
DNC.
Well, I think that speaks to the quality of that song. That it's a much
Yeah,
harder
it's-
song to sing than you'd imagine.
But then Queen. Yeah, for sure.
Best bit is that Jason Kirsten sang at Sharon Casey's wedding.
You know that I actually DJ'd Sharon Casey's Hens there?
Oh my god.
Claim to fame. So,
This is crazy.
you know, me and Jason Kirsten
I haven't
essentially.
got any. Did you
tied
do
the
anything at
bonds around.
Sharon
I didn't do
Casey's
anything.
wedding? Me
I
neither.
didn't even.
I feel bad.
Get an
You
invite,
should.
but I did move house. So again, maybe invite
All
lost in the
these-
mail.
yeah.
There are so many invites for me lost in the mail.
Yeah.
Sitting at New Zealand Post. Okay.
Joe Cotton.
Oh, Joe Cotton. And again, you know, Joe works with Sharon. Sharon really dropped the ball on these.
Or did she? Do we
She's so close
believe
to
that
the-
they didn't know from quite early on?
Like, I do find it hard to believe that they didn't know. And there was nothing in the clues this week that really gave it away. They weren't like really, really obvious clues or anything. So for them to all suddenly get it right. Lady Six toured with Troy Kingy all summer.
All summer?
I mean, come on.
Because I feel like voices are actually quite distinct. Like if you're a pro and you listen to someone a lot, you'd pick up on little sort of husky, inflection-y kind of thing.
But especially when they're dropping in names of their like singles and albums and stuff. It's actually like you're a bad tour partner if you don't get it. You know, it's like you haven't taken the time to get to know the artist that you're on tour with.
But how long has she spent with LAB? Because that was just looming so much larger.
I assume that she lives with LAB. I assume that she is Joel Shadbolt, that she is Lisa Tomlins.
She has shares in LAB.
There has to be some sort of incentive. Like if she got like $10 for every time she mentioned their like
Rich lady.
such a rich
Very
lady.
rich lady.
Okay.
I love Jo Cotton. I love to hear her sing again. I came out of it going,
She's so
next
good.
time she performs somewhere, I'm there.
When Troy Kingi took off his sheep head, and it just everyone normally holds on to their masks as they're doing their little post reveal interview, and he just laid his on the ground, and there was something really disturbing about seeing sheep's head just laying dead on the ground.
I just have really strong feelings for Troy Kingi now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, like affectionate ones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
think
would
he's
see
the best
him in a
guy.
concert.
Have you seen his first on the Spinoff website?
It's not out yet. I think it comes out to... we're watching it today.
Do enjoy that. It's fresh. It's fresh from the Troy Kingi oven. Yeah, he was so great to talk to. Loved him a lot. Such a nice guy.
It's funny that Reese was in that movie with him, but I guess they probably weren't... They never saw each other.
I don't think the whole cast has to hang around because they both have
What
relatively
about the
small
rap
parts.
party?
That's true. Look, let's go back to Jo Cotton. Great singer.
Hey,
What a
also,
good singer.
when she took off her mask, like
Beautiful.
just completely
Beautiful.
beautiful, completely seemed unaffected by the heat, and you know her face was pristine.
To wear
her
big
hair.
fake eyelashes under that horrible mask.
It was quite a horrible mask. That
It
one.
was
eh?
quite.
It was
It was very
terrifying.
scary.
Yeah,
Famously,
I think it's her time.
Yeah.
I agree.
I think all three of them, if they did like a Masked Singer finalists tour, they could pack houses. Yeah, for someone like Troy Kingi in particular, who isn't like a capital P pop artist, but has a lot of amazing material as a kind of a big exposure event. Like I can imagine there would have been some sort of, is this a credible kind of thing to do? Am I smash you? But I feel like it also just, it says something about who you are as a person that like, yeah, I like all these like, you know, some super famous and corny songs. I don't mind making a bit of a, you know, like doing this kind of faintly silly thing. I'm not such a like serious artist that I can't possibly do that because I don't think it impacts Troy Kingi's integrity as an artist over on the other side. So yeah, just a cool thing to do. And then for the other two, it has just a big re-relevance splash.
No, I was just going to say, I feel like, I mean, you kind of already said it, but like the format is so inherently embarrassing and self-aware. There's nothing to lose. How can it go wrong for you? You know, you pre-record the songs, you wear a giant costume, you don't even have to worry about your face. You don't even have to dance. You just stand there.
But you can.
But you can. You can shake your little tuatara butt.
I love that Troy Kingi said he did it for his kids.
Also like that there's no charity involved, that it's just about Sultana Brand.
Okay, my favorite quote of the whole episode was Lady Six saying about Jason Kirsten, "You can't mistake that voice." After spending 10 weeks mistaking that voice.
Yeah, that's definitely Joel Shadbolt.
and then Jason kept it very real when he took off his mask. The first thing he said was, "It's so hot." Like, it's so hot in there, which is what we're all thinking. It's just how hot must it be? And then he said, "I've lost 6 kgs in the last 3 days." Bit of a giveaway for how long filming took.
Yeah. But also a Masked Singer workout plan.
Oh,
get it started.
absolutely.
Walk around in the
Do we still,
costume.
is the PAV
The PAV's still here.
It really does not leave, doesn't
It's
it?
not. It's very hard to get out the door. Before we finish, can we do a quick? Who do we want to see season 2?
I don't know who. That was
I
on
want
the
to
spot.
see people. I want to see Wing.
Oh my God.
I
No
want
one
to
will guess that. No, they will though. The moment she opens her mouth.
Aaron Simpson, obviously.
Michael Murphy.
Michael Murphy would be great. Benny Tipene, I was thinking, was actually quite a good
Yeah.
shout by some of them. Like, it's like the people who maybe didn't win but found fame. What about like Tom Batchelor? Do you remember Tom
Oh, I
Batchelor?
remember Tom
Oh,
Batchelor.
So
yeah.
niche, but that would be so fun.
I would love Tom Batchelor.
I'd like to see some old school reality stars like Sally Ridge.
Matthew Ridge?
All the
Wow,
Ridges.
Just
Cafe.
BMXing
Or
around
what about
stage.
like Matthew Ridge, Jamie Ridge, Sally Ridge, Adam Perori, like
Just the whole
Mark
rat
Ellis,
gang.
the whole
The whole gang.
gang. Get the
Yeah,
gang
if they just
together.
did seasons, which were like devoted to these kind of real niche eras.
Scotty
Little
Rocker.
Scotty Rocker.
Yeah.
And Asia Rock. Anyone with rock in the name. Put them in.
Okay, we're going to take a break. We're going to stretch. We'll be back after we tell you to join the spin-off members.
Kia ora, Justin Giovanetti here, and I'm the political editor at The Spinoff. This podcast, like so much of the work we do at The Spinoff, is made possible by the support of our members. To find out more about The Spinoff members and how you can help us keep producing quality, independent journalism, visit members.thespinoff.co.nz and do it today.
The Apprentice. We pick up where we left off with Mike Pirro strolling into the, what do you call that? The debrief after the last
The foyer.
execution.
The drafty foyer, because you're not allowed into the house proper.
And he's like, you're not getting any sleep tonight because your next challenge starts right now.
But did it?
No, not really. they basically just like decided their teams
Yeah.
and who was going to be the PMs and then off to bed. But the brief was something like, there's going to be 10 things that you need to get from around Auckland, and I'm going to give you some clues, and it's about strategy and logistics and the art of negotiation.
Hilarious.
Sounds like a lovely scavenger hunt.
It was the spin-off Christmas party from 2016.
Oh, that was such an iconic Christmas party
It
when
was a
Simon
ripper.
Day hit that ice cream out of my hand. Far out.
I actually really enjoyed this episode for being a little bit of a departure from the previous format of kind of like these. Actually, when you stop and think about making a food product, doing the packaging, the branding, the pictures, and making a whole advertising campaign in like 2 days, it's really pretty impossible to show your skills in there because it's an impossible task to do properly. Whereas this, just find some things.
Mooch around, get some Fiji hours.
Yes, I could do this.
I actually just thought this was great television. Now, I've not seen The Amazing Race in any kind of meaningful way. What's The Amazing Race? Is it a big
similar.
scabby hunt?
It is kind of, but like on a much greater scale.
Like, you can't do greater than this. Surely.
And it's racing. It's like the first person to get to a certain checkpoint, and then you get to advance, and people miss planes and all sorts of things. It's
But-
quite high stakes, high stress.
Basically, I asked because I really enjoyed watching this, and I think there is a space for a low stakes scavenger
Scabby.
hunt TV show out there in the world.
That's actually not a bad idea. Because also you could do product placement. You could sell each scabby item
Yeah.
for a price.
Yeah.
Should we pitch it?
Yeah, you'll pitch it.
Fancy.
Yeah.
Okay, so Team Mana, Gabe puts his name up for PM because Mike Pirro told him he had to. Michael subbed on this one. And Team Tahi, Olivia, who I've been calling Nicole for the last long time because I was conflating her with the other one, and Stephen both wanted to be PM, but she won that fight, and Stephen got to be sub PM. They had a lovely sleep in up at 7.
I love Stephen trying to.
I love Stephen.
I love Stephen so much. But when they were like, "Do you have any experience leading? Like, can you deal with stressful situations?" He's like, "Content creation is stressful."
That is our motto.
His job is an influencer, basically, isn't it? I don't know that. Does he do stuff for actual companies or just his own personal brand? Because he's got quite a big following
I mean, he must do stuff for companies.
on the Buzzy Kiwi.
Isn't the Buzzy Kiwi Hamish from The Bachelorettes? Didn't
No,
he
that-
have a very similar.
No, he was Travel Kiwi's photo or something.
That's right. It was a real
botch combination.
a real botch.
But very similar vibe.
Yeah.
Like a very similar vibe.
The Buzzy Kiwi. The Buzzy Kiwi. I think we should give him a column. I'm just having a crazy idea. And it's just the Buzzy Kiwi's thoughts.
Alex, did you notice the breakfast spread?
No.
No. When they're having like breakfast in the morning, it's just it wasn't about the breakfast. There was just a couple of apprentice discussing apprentice stuff. But there was like a massive spread of all different cereals and Systema containers, and I think there was some Cocoa Pops there, and there was a bowl of fruit. It's just like it was like a beautiful bougie camp.
Systemic containers is nice and sustainable too.
They were like the cereal specific ones. High tower ones with a little flappy flap. When they got their brief, They were handed map books, which I thought was very 1984.
But this is what was so cool about this was like the sort of cryptic clues and the fact that they just randomly couldn't use the internet. Like it was so arbitrary and it made it a lot better to watch. But there was no real explanation for it. Like you only had normally they have some like real stupid to show your resourcefulness in the event of disaster strike. It's just like no, this is just a. You know?
And you can still use your phones. You can still use your fancy flip phones to ring.
But we've turned off the data.
Turned off your data.
I assumed that it would be like a yellow placement or something, like to, like there was,
right.
But it never came. It was just, or maybe they were pitching it and the contract was never signed or something.
Finding J. Smith. Do you remember that? That was sponsored by Vodafone. It was just ringing all the J. Smiths in New Zealand.
Look,
does that really happen?
Yeah.
They must have been terrible for J. Smiths.
Yeah.
Presumably, it was because they just wanted to get them on the phone, right? And because they're like, what's his name? Tony ringing people and
it was amazing.
and pretending like he knew what he was asking for and having the people on the other end of the phone go, I have no idea what that is. What is it? And him sort of going, well, it's a grey flathead mullet.
You've rung a butcher's, mate.
That was so great.
And then Erna just absolutely losing the plot. Those two, hell of a time. They had such a good time.
Iconic duo.
Out the road. I want to see more of those two together. So fun.
Also enjoyed the fact that they just did not seem to leave the car for almost the entire episode.
No.
Just sort of rocking around.
That's because they couldn't figure out what it was they were supposed to find. They did have a couple of the hardest ones. They had the grey flat. I don't know what that was. I know that a mullet's a fish, but I thought it was some sort of screwdriver.
I thought wig.
Flathead.
I thought wig. Grey flat-haired mullet.
Like head to look sharp.
How's that not a wig?
And then what was the other one? The other one was the gravestone wine.
That was really difficult.
Yeah.
Because those were like characteristics of it, right?
Yeah.
It seemed like a miracle.
Like some of them were cryptic
Stephen
and some of them
found
were
it.
just very not.
Yeah.
Like an Auckland essence.
And they're like,
Auckland
Crown
distilled.
Lynn Swan. And they're like, what does it mean? Poor Stephen said that he doesn't know a lot, though, because he's from Invercargill.
Never a truer word.
No, we sell mowers was my favourite response.
Oh, yeah. When he was looking for wool.
For wool.
What's the name of that mower shop? That's what I want to know. That made him think that they might sell wool.
My favourite moment in the whole thing, which I honestly think they should have been penalised for, was Michael like using his crazy hulked out strength to rip the Pukeko tea towel to be just like 8 of the exact same bird, and it still said tea towel on the back, so it was fine.
Well, I think that I agree with Cassie on that one. That's innovation.
But it's just not.
That's lateral thinking. I would have contested when it said 8 native birds on a tea towel. That tea towel had 8 native birds on it. It didn't say no more, no less.
Well, then by that you could say that because you bought the lavender oil in Auckland, it was Auckland originated.
No, Auckland distilled. That was specific. Okay?
Damn it.
I was impressed by
Cut that out.
Michael when Michael went to the fruit shop.
Leave
and was
it
just
in.
like, he was like, all right, Matt, we'll go out the back. And like new fruit stuff. Like I wouldn't know that you go out the back and be like, give me a box of fruit.
Whatever fruit.
Hang on,
Whatever
wait.
fruit.
You didn't know that at a fruit shop out the back they've got fruit?
No, but I didn't know they had like the dud kind of like B-side of fruit in the back. You know, like
Bruce
I just thought, yeah, Bruce fruit.
It's not a giant leap, is it, to think that...
No, it's not, but I wouldn't think like... I just feel he knows his fruit industry.
Yeah.
I would be haggling for the fruit at the front, is what
But
I'm
you're
saying.
honestly like drinking the most fruit that you've engaged with in a long
I had a lot
time.
of fruit today.
Okay, I have a question for you. Who is the dark-haired girl?
Oh, yeah, where has she been all my show?
Megan?
Well, I know that now only because she became such a hot topic in the elimination.
I said the same thing to Nikki. Like, I've been watching this show very closely for a long time. I've never seen you before.
She's definitely not been a PM or a sub-PM or been...
A speaking role or on
involved
camera.
in any way at any time. It's crazy.
Crazy. She's the one that should have been brought in the boardroom, right? But they probably forgot about it.
Like, Olivia got fired for not bringing in who should have been fired because, the judges didn't know who she was either. And she did
Amazing.
literally nothing.
Amazing. Hey, can I have a favourite non-core cast member of the show?
Yes.
90 cent discount lady.
Love it.
Oh, mate. She was pissed about the whole thing.
She's just not given. She was like, you can pay what it says on the sticker.
Yeah.
You little shits.
And she like rolled her eyes at the
She-
camera
Yeah.
at one point. Like,
She was cross.
really funny.
Trying to make a living post-COVID era.
Furious plant seller. We love it.
Because a bunch of those shops were quite touristy, and it does feel a bit weird. Obviously they're getting publicity out of it, but then they're just like trying to gouge out as much of a discount as possible from these struggling retailers. And I just loved her mentality was, nah, it's got a price on it, mate.
She's like, I can wrap it for you for free.
Yeah.
And Gabe, I feel like Gabe was not a great negotiator. He was just sort of like, please.
I know, yeah, that would be me.
Please.
I mean, to be fair, I don't even think I'd ask for a discount. I'd just be like, "Oh, I'll give you, keep the change.
I'll pay you more. Yeah, I'll pay you more. Sorry.
It's a horrible thing to have to do, but I loved Michael's tactic. If I was ever going to negotiate, not going to happen, but if I was, I would use can we say 6 on a handshake?
On a handshake is so
Awesome.
good. I'll give you a handshake. You give me some of your money.
It worked every
Effectively.
time. It was like such a charming little thing. Team Mana made $298, but they got penalised $15 for getting their lavender oil from not distilled in Auckland version. Team Tahi, $330. They end up in the elimination. Quite a heated exchange over the picnic table outdoors.
Love that.
Yeah, Olivia gets eliminated because she brought the wrong 2 people into the boardroom. However, we get back to the house and more fighting takes place. It was really, really tense.
It was proper.
And Stephen just went ham. Did you hear JT's feedback on myself? all he wanted Tony to do was say, yeah, your feedback was valid.
But
All he wanted.
Tony's like, I don't listen to anything unless it's about me. Was just like, it didn't feel like the best defense. Like I sort of got it on one level, on another it just sounded like, even by the standards of reality TV show contestants, like sort of so self-involved that it's going to make you lose the show.
The one thing that I thought really didn't get covered in that debrief was when Gabe said, who do you think should have been in the boardroom then? And he was like, well, Stephen and Megan. And Gabe was like, why? And then he went into this big thing about Stephen. It's like, why? It's because Megan is the reason Olivia got fired. They never even mentioned Megan's name as to why she should have been in the boardroom. Did they not even see she's there? They can't see.
She's got like an invisibility cloak or something.
Oh my God.
It's a very strange thing to be this deep into a show and us all have that who is she reaction.
Maybe she'll win purely based on the fact that no one's going to take her to the boardroom because no one knows she's there and she'll just be last man standing. I mean, amazing tactic, right?
It's incredible.
Okay, that's our podcast. Thank you very much for listening. Thank you, Duncan. Thank you, Alex. Thank you, Tina. And I do hope you're all enjoying Gossip Week on the spin-off. Click it. Don't forget Colin with Sarah Jeffrey on the special pop-up podcast on Friday. Bye.
Kia ora, I'm Duncan Grieve, founder of The Spinoff. You can help us keep all of The Spinoff's award-winning journalism free for everybody by becoming a member today at thespinoff.co.nz/donate.
Kia ora e te iwi, Te Aihe Butler here, podcast manager at The Spinoff. If you enjoy listening to our podcasts, consider supporting our mahi by signing up to become a Spinoff member at thespinoff.co.nz/donate. The Spinoff Podcast Network.